Hey guys, I'm John. I'm with TBW, and we're installing an under tray on a 2017 Audi A4. It's going to be just like the Audi S4. We're going to have a revised hardware kit for both of them, so this is going to be the same for both. the the factory provides up here these clips, and you got to use the T25 screws. I don't like them. We're going to provide new screws if you'd like. Also going to replace them with some 6mm screws. They're a little bit longer ones for these here. I'll show you as we go along here. So first step, this bracket here, it's going to come pre-installed with these extruded U-nuts. They line up over the top of these holes. You're going to install it right here with these. There's 6 screws. You can use the Audi M6 screws. We will provide some other screws where if for some reason those are not gripping. So sometimes these inset screw retainers don't grip very well. And if that's the case, we're going to provide some other screws that will, there'll be a 10mm hex head, and they'll grab no matter what. They might hog it out a little bit, so you won't be able to use the T26 anymore, or the T25 rather, but it will make it so that you can install this. So those will be nice and tight. It should be secure there. And then for these 4 locations, it's going to have the 6mm bolts. So once you get it installed, we're going to install these sides. This side's already installed, but I'll show you on this side here. You're going to slide the 6mm extruded U-nuts over the top of the holes. But you got to remove the OEM ones first if you're going to do it this way. If you're going to try to use the OEM bolts, you don't need to do that. These, I think, are stronger and will grip better. It's labeled with R, so this is going to go on the right side or the passenger side. This is going to slide underneath. And with that in place, this is going to get the longer 6mm screw, which is 30mm. This one right here is going to get the 20mm screw. And we're going to temporarily put them in place. Don't tighten everything down. This is going to be the same T30. We're going to reuse these. And that's the only bolt we're going to reuse, especially on this one. So once both of those are in place, we're going to hit the transmission pan. That's going to be this section here. And that's going to slide up here for the, I should mention this for you real quick before we start that. For the S4, you slide U-nuts over the top of this hole. For the A4, this transmission mount is a little bit different. So what we end up doing is we drill this hole out just slightly. I think the drill bit was 13/64 that we used. I'll have to double check it. Maybe it's 23/64. It'll be in the notes. But you drill those out and you install an extruded or a rivet nut. This gives it threads. This way we can use the bolt to tighten it down, as opposed to having to use the big giant plastic push clips on the back end. I guess you could use the big giant push clips if you felt like it, but you should hold metal up with metal. So we're going to first put this in place here and get a couple of these bolts, or at least one of them, started on the transmission here. And then we're going to have these 1/4-inch spacers. Start with the middle bolt, and I'm going to show you this again. You can use the OEM bolt here. On this car, it was not gripping with the screw, and so what we did is we replaced the OEM nut with one of the U-nuts. Same as these ones over here. We just slide those in place, and then instead of using the T25 bolt, it's going to use a 6mm machine thread. So, and you can just start out with just one of these bolts. We're just doing this to hold it in place for a second while we get these other ones started. So take your spacer and you're going to set it on top of the screw hole. And then the bolt will go up and through. These are the hardest ones to see because you're kind of flying blind. All right, so once you get this one started, you're gonna just take the other spacers and slide them over the top. And these ones here are gonna use the T25 screws. Another washer. All right, once we get those in place, we're gonna get these rear section screws. And we're gonna keep everything loose as much as we can until everything is in place, and then we'll tighten down at the very end. So remove that here. And this should now be secured even though it's kind of loose. All right. Now to the front section here, you'll see that the drain hole for the drain plug, so you can change your oil yourself, or just make it quick and easy if you do. So you're going to pull the plastic down a little bit, slide this underneath. This is going to overlap over the sides and overlap right here back at this bracket that we installed. So get some of these screws started here. And sometimes it's nice to get one of them tightened down a little bit. It'll help hold things in the right angles for you. All right. And lastly, for the bolts that connect the sides. All right. And finally, there's these, the last three are the T25 bolts that came out of here. Okay, everything's in place. We're gonna just tighten everything down, double check it with the tap, make sure nothing's wiggling or rattling or loose. After a week or so, you can double check them if you'd like, just to make sure. If you hear any rattling, it's because something's loose. With the cross brace here in the transmission, we actually provide some foam strips that you can use to dampen sound, just to make sure that there's no rattling as well. We installed them on this car before we did this, just to make sure there's nothing there. And that's pretty much it. You can see the oil drain plug is right here, so it'll flow out to here. And the door just slides in place here and locks in place with these bolts. And that's that. So like I said, at this point, everything is in place. We'll tighten everything down and just give it a tap here at the end, just to make sure we're solid. Okay, that's it. Solid. Should be straightforward. Obviously, it helps to have a lift, and if you can't do it yourself, take it to a mechanic who can. But that's it for the Audi A4 and S4. Thanks, guys.